Shalom fam, I just wanted to quickly announce that I've joined forces with an awesome merch company called Sanctified Supply Co. They're a whole Bible-believing company with a mission of spreading their conversation-starting products all across the plane of God's green earth. As you can see, I'm wearing a "We Must Hang on His Words" tee. All of their apparel is personally screen printed in their mom and pop shop in the good old US of A. So if you'd like to support my ministry and their company, head on over to sanctifiedsupplyco.com and toss one of these t-shirts into your cart. Type in Ken10 at checkout and save 10% on your entire order. Check the link in this video's description for quick access. Hello and welcome to Hanging on His Words. My name is Ken Heidebrecht, and I appreciate you joining me tonight for a special broadcast with a brother who I love. He's amazing. He's been on before, probably about 5 months ago. He and his brother Michael were on. We were talking about hell and the doctrine of hell. So he is definitely not a newbie to this channel, and nor am I over to his channel. And who I'm speaking about is Josh Keefe over at Founded Earth Brothers. He's going to be on tonight talking about his amazing project that the Father has placed on his heart called the Creation Standard. But before we have him on, I'd like to just say hi to a few folks that are in the chat. I appreciate you guys for joining me this evening or this afternoon, wherever it is that you are watching. GR Cleves in the house. Shalom. Thank you so much for joining. Travis Weems, hands up for praise. Yes. Thank you so much for joining tonight. Miss Carmela Lazarus. Hello, guys. She's saying hello. Thanks for joining us, sister. We have KMSR 17 AM. Oh, that's Jackie Smith, I believe. Yes, it is. You guys have a really neat radio station. What is it called? It's I think it's KM. I think it's the very name of what your tag is here, is it not? If you think about it, give a plug for, yeah, okay. Just folks, go over to KMSR 1700 AM and peruse the channel. This channel's awesome. They play live music, they play West Blaze's music, my music, other folks. They play various ministries, podcasts, and stuff like that. So go check them out if you are into that type of thing, and show them some love. Thanks for joining us tonight, guys. Who else we got here? Alan and Sharon Pizarek, Shalom Ken and Josh. Sharon's making some fresh ground wheat bread. Always make the house smell great, even if I'm home. Yeah, I like the smell too. Actually, my wife made some bread today as well. We had some soup and bread, and yeah, I concur. It's a great smell when it lofts through the house, and you come home from work, and it's just it's amazing. And it's one of those things like something as simple as fresh bread, right? And we get to thank the Father for the senses that He's blessed the majority of us humans with. And so, yes, bread is good, but the bread of life is even better. Yeshua and the Word of God. So we're going to be discussing some of that tonight. And before we get to that, let me just say hi to Marcia. Shalom, sister. Thank you so much for joining tonight. Shamgar's in the house. Shalom, everybody, saying. Eternal Lights here. Country Dad. We get the country folk showing up. Awesome. Shalom, Matt. Miss Joy Trujillo. Woohoo, woohoo, woohoo. Shalom, sister. You joined for a good one tonight. We're going to hear Brother Josh tell us all about what the Father's been placing on his heart. And we've got some good news. Got an incredible endeavor from this brother. Something that this community needs desperately. And yes, we want to support him. We want to support his efforts. And we want to spread the word, ultimately, because this brother has stepped out in faith to make this happen. So if it's on your heart, guys, listen carefully to what this brother has to say tonight. Richie saying shalom all. Thanks for showing up, Richie. We'll say hi to a few more folks, and then we'll get Brother Josh on Country Funds here. Hey, everybody. Shalom, sister. Thanks for joining. Thank you, moderators, for being in the chat this evening. We appreciate you guys and the work you do. I know I don't pay much, but money's tight around here. You know, if you want to raise, you might have to talk to me later about that, but we'll see. But I appreciate the free work so far. Suzanne Jean Wilkins saying, Shalom, I made it on time, I think. Yeah, you did. We started a couple minutes late, but yes, you did make it on time. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. Brother Justin Credible's here. Thanks, buddy, for showing. Simone Allers is in the house, and we'll just say shalom, shalom from Australia. Beautiful autumn day. Looking forward to this discussion. Awesome. Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. Miss Jessie Reeves. Hello, sister. Haven't seen you in a while. It's nice to see you. Miss Amanda Rodriguez. Shalom, everyone. It's evening over here. Hope to get some good information as I'm homeschooling our son. He's only 2, but I want to teach him truth. Amen. Well, you're joining the right live stream. Mr. Jeremy McGarry. Shalom, brother. Appreciate you for joining tonight. All right, guys, without further ado, I'm going to get Josh on here. He is in his attic. That's where his his office is out of, where he's live streaming from. So it's probably a little warm there. Is it, brother?
Yeah, I'm burning up. You're saying that. I'm over here like fanning myself with this little children's flat earth book over here.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, well, I mean, it's just, I understand. You got to cool yourself off because you're on fire for the Lord. You're a good looking dude. It's just,
the Georgia heat. Yeah, I just saw Joy. She said she was in Ringgold. She was in our neck of the woods. You should have called me. Could have stopped by and hung out. You could be in the live. You could be in the studio.
Yeah,
hanging out with Ken right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So awesome. I got to meet Joy at one of our meetups.
Cool. Yeah, that's what I love about this community, man. It's just they're everywhere, right? So we're bound to bump into each other eventually, and so I'm gonna hopefully intentionally bump into folks down south. Making some trips out that way in the near future. If the Father can so provide for that to happen, that would be amazing. I'd love to meet a lot of you folks. But brother, thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Thanks for having me. This is awesome. Getting to talk about this. It's the one thing I think about. Like every day as I'm sleeping, I'm thinking about this. And so it's like, it's a blessing to share what the Father is showing us. Yeah, it's consuming. It's hard to remember. I have other responsibilities. Even when I'm at my day job, I'm thinking about what am I going to do? I'm watching the countdown, and on our website, we have a countdown to the first day of class. And I put that on there because I was excited, and it was over 100 days, and now it's like 80 something days. And I'm like, now I'm getting nervous. it's getting close.
Getting more real.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's great. Thank you so much, Sister Carmela. You are now a YouTube member here. Okay. That's great. Thank you, folks, for your memberships. And depending on what tier you're at, please reach out to me. If you're at I think it's Future Immortal tier, I have some stuff for you. I have a couple people who are at that tier, and they have yet to reach out to me to get their stuff. So I don't know what to say about that other than just remind them, and it is what it is. But thank you for your memberships and your support and your love, guys. Appreciate it. Really, really do. So Brother Josh, okay, the creation standard. Okay, what is this thing? What is that logo to the, I guess, your left, our right? The creation standard. You got Proverbs 22, verse 6. Let's talk about it.
Well, you mean to pull up the website so people can see it, and I can I can go from there and navigate. That'll be easier. So here's the website, creationstandard.com, and classes. You can go ahead and register. These are biblical earth classes and life science classes that the Father put on my heart to design them in a way like we've already been doing on all of our ministries, on your ministry and a bunch of ministries out there, that destroy the lies of the enemy and get a really good foundation for our children and also for people who aren't in school. I have some adults that have signed up to some of these classes, and my wife helped me get the idea to make, because Earth's Foundation, I was targeting like middle school age students and like elementary school age. And she said, that's a big class and people are wanting that information, and you're already going to be teaching it in different sections. Why not make a section for the adults that's like, or, the high school age people and beyond? And so I was like, you know what, that's genius. And so we made the firmamental breakdown class. Nice. And so there's the Earth's Foundation, which is really bringing it back to the word, the true definition of the earth, and going through experiment after experiment and showing people, or these children, what they live on and how we can test it and prove it. And it's going to be an exciting journey. I've already got a pacing guide, a rough draft of it laid out. I'm thinking about having guest speakers. I've got about 15 on the list, and Ken, you're one of them. And so lots of things I'm planning. I'm not saying it's all going to happen, but my ambition right now is just through the roof with this stuff. And so registration is free, and classes for now, unless you need help. And I've had people reach out and say, look, I want to do this, but I don't have, the $30 a month right now. We're in between jobs. And so I've been out looking for sponsors and raising support. And so we will do our best to take care of people who can't afford it. But registration is free. And the reason we're charging a fee for now, unless we can get it fully funded, that would be great. I'll make it free. That's my ultimate goal. But since I'm stepping away from my day job to do this full time, I will need some support, and that would be a decent way to do it. Plus, you're vested in the learning process, and it's a lot of work that goes into this. And I'm going to work all summer, but we have our Earth Foundation class, which again, that's for the young ones. My daughter's second grade. She's pretty smart. She's going to be taking it next year. She's enlisted. She was the first one to register. I made sure first on the historic registration list.
Nice.
But our intro to intelligence,
Volin registered.
yeah, and I think she's actually excited about it because she's been a flat earther since she was born, and she's so smart. She's a little gifted student, so we're going to have her in that class. And I'm going to try to group people by age. And the thing that really, the reason I have the life science classes is because I'm a biology teacher, or I was. Now I'm teaching life science. But my passion for intelligent design got me into that subject after I had a miracle happen, or several miracles happen, that really just made me in awe of our creator and his creation and learning more about him. And so became a biology teacher. I've been teaching this is my 16th year in education. And so next year will be my first year not being in the public school setting in a long time. And so those classes there are based on life science for the middle school and biology for the high school. But they're going to destroy evolution. That's going to be our longest unit, is destroying evolution in the age of the earth. Because when you look at those classes, Earth Foundation or the earth science classes in public school, and life science and biology, all three of those have an age of the earth evolution type of component built in by design. It's just so biased, and it's really heartbreaking seeing the way our standards are worded, the way public school education is ran. There is a huge bias towards evolution. And so I've been called to the principal's office a few times in my career, not for what I teach, but for my beliefs on the internet that people have found me. And so I've been dealt with a few times for being a creationist. Never would they have said anything if I believed that we came from rocks or a puddle of mud. But believing we have a creator that's made this life is very, very frowned upon in the educational world right now. And so the Father put it on my heart last year when I was forced into classrooms as a co-teacher, and I was having to teach with other teachers who were teaching evolution, and it was so hard to see what they were saying, the slides they were putting up, the imagery, the animations, and it was tough. But I feel like it was for a purpose, because it lit a fire in me seeing that battlefield that, hey, we need to create something for these people who are teaching their children the truth. And there are thousands of us out there, and there's hardly anywhere to go. And so I'm hoping this will be something that can continue on. If not, we will build everything this year and do what we can to do it part-time in the future. But these classes, you can register, you click to register. If you don't know what the courses are about, we have course information. You can scroll down and it tells you what these courses are about. If you want to email us, contact us. All this stuff here is on the website. I'm still working on it, so if you find typos or anything, let me know.
Just creationstandard.com, right, Josh?
Yeah, creationstandard.com. Roughly layout of what the weeks would be like in the classroom or at your home, which is awesome. You're not, confined to that public school experience, and that's new to me. So I'm trying to figure out how awesome it's going to be and how I'm going to handle having prayer back in school, having the ability to talk about the Most High every single day is going to be awesome. And so getting rid of that stigma of homeschool, people thinking that it's just this weird group, and they've kind of given them that label so that people will shy away from that. But there's just so much more we can do. at home that they're not doing at school. And a lot of that is teaching these truths, doing actual experiments that aren't biased. And so we're going to have already registration numbers. We're doing okay. We have people, I've looked at their addresses, and not that I'm spying on people, but I want to know time zones. And so we have people from Australia, Canada, South Africa already. So there's people that are on different time zones that, I'm thinking this will be cool. We can make so many more observations than someone like me going out like I did in the beginning in my little part of the world, looking up at the sky every night for 7 months, trying to see if we're going around the sun. We have people in Australia now that can look up at the stars at the same time. I'm looking at the sky over here and stuff. So it's exciting stuff. We got all the information on the website, registration, how to support. I think you have to go to more info. And so that's the basics of it. I got a little background on me. If anyone doesn't understand my background, I don't have my full testimony. I tried to make it brief. Have a master's degree in teaching. I am blessed to have that. I struggled in school. That's why I don't want this to be about head knowledge and what I know. I struggled to get out of high school, and the Father blessed me with a really good work ethic and some really helpful people along the way that helped me figure out how to get through and get to where I am today. So it's been quite the miraculous journey. And so
I love it,
to say the least. And there's the family. I put the family down there. Got my beautiful wife, Amber. She's the like principal, I would say, of this operation. She's taking care of the finances. She's a mathematical genius. She's a math teacher. And so without her, this would not be possible. I would be too terrified to do something like this, but the Father has blessed me with a good wife, big family. This is 4 of the 5 children. So yeah, it's quite the blessing with this journey. So I'll go ahead and stop sharing there.
Awesome, brother. No,
that's this is creation standard, and I get excited talking about it. I don't want to talk too much, but man,
no, of course. I mean, it's yes, it's your baby, right? I mean, the things that the Father puts on our heart, it's awesome when we see it kind of come to birth, come to life. And we need folks like you, man, because as you said earlier, these educational systems are just essentially indoctrination tools to usurping what the Father has given to our youngsters, and interject it with Satan's agenda, essentially. I mean, I was blessed to go to a school when I was young, throughout high school. It was called Eden Christian High School. I think it was, no, just Eden High School. It's been so long, John.
Yeah.
Eden High School. But it was like we would go and do worship in right in the morning. Everyone would meet in like the gym area, and they would have like live worship, and then there would be a little like pastoral message, and then we would have like Bible classes right at the beginning before actual classes started. I didn't love it when I was that age because I was just like a little rebel rouser. Didn't really care about Christianity back in my teen years. But thankfully, like I didn't have to deal with too much indoctrination at that level. And it just seems like the last couple decades, Satan has just amped it up. You know what I mean? Like it's just some of the stuff that's coming out in these curriculums is just downright disgusting. So we need folks like yourself who have the pedigree and the experience and the knowledge and the heart to do something like this, to do that. Otherwise, I mean, the younger generations are just, it's no wonder that they walk out of these systems not loving God or caring to know anything about God and the Word. You know, they're taught that it's a mythological book. It's been debunked. You know, the science and scientific papers and books and all that are the new, religion, essentially. And this is what we believe now, right? And so God is just this mythological thing. So we need you, man, is what I'm saying. And so that's why I really, really pray and stress to you guys, you folks who are watching, to help Brother Josh with this endeavor, because this is, again, it's no small feat, right? You literally gave up your position. You were willing to take criticisms and to be pulled into the principal's office because of your faith, because you do believe that Yahweh's word and the truths that are contained in Scripture that are backed by science, real science, is an important pursuit, and our younger generations need to know this stuff. And so again, like I just hope more people like yourself come out of the woodwork and rally together and just group together with this type of thing. Like it would be amazing, Josh. I don't know how long term your vision is with something like this, but wouldn't it be incredible to have other people coming out of the woodwork being like, let's collaborate and join together and do more classes, and I can teach this class and they teach that class, and eventually we have our own little system that's based off of scripture with people who want to buck against the enemy and what he's doing with these young minds today.
Yeah, see, that's my vision. You said that, like reaching out and getting help. Like I'm driving down the road and I'm thinking, if this were to get big, like it would be nice to say, hey Ken, would you mind teaching the class? We have all the lessons and everything set. You're the instructor, make it, what you want, spirit led. I want it to be spirit led and not like the whole, we got to stick to this, and I think with the homeschool community, these people are super educators. People don't understand how hard it is to educate and teach all the different subjects. I could not do it. I could not come home and homeschool my daughter like my wife does. I can teach one subject or, a few different subjects in the science realm. That's it. You try to put me in literacy, you try to put me anything else, it's tough. I did 6th grade literacy for a year, and that was challenging. I did not know my grammar was so bad until I got put in that classroom, and I was like, I don't even know the parts of the sentence. Like these kids can identify things better than I can. And so it's a job, and it is it's tough. And watching my wife try to do these things, she does such a good job, and it's not easy. Children are just like, hey, I'm ready to get up and read today, or I'm ready to get up and do math. Like it's not easy, and you're their parent. It's almost, in my opinion, it's easier to teach other people's children. It just is, because they have the peer pressure and they have to like follow along and do the things. And with your own children, there's no peer pressure. It's just it's sometimes like a conflict of interest. Like you want to teach me and I just want to play. I'm a kid. And so I'm hoping to make it fun and take a little bit of that pressure off of the parent, because these classes are going to have history. Science is a foreign language, so it's literacy. You're learning new words. You're learning so many vocabulary words. And so that's how I want our children to be. I want them to be able to use these words. You're already seeing, our children, biblical earth believer children, they already know more about the globe than the average kid. They already know more words associated with that realm than other people. And their vocabulary, the firmament, and all these different aspects, it's a lot of learning. And so trying to condense it into a 10-month course is going to be quite the challenge. And so I'm hoping it'll grow to where I can branch out and get people like you maybe doing it part-time or doing it, on the side, and just
there's definitely awesome. a learning curve involved with this for sure, brother. It's no small task. And my wife and I, we don't have kids yet. Y'all willing, we'll get there. We're hoping. But we've already had all these discussions about, well, we're gonna have to homeschool. Like there's no way we're gonna plant them into the modern day indoctrination systems that exist right now and ruin their lives doing that. Have them walk away from the true creator. So we're like, how are we going to do it? So it's just having a resource like this, just knowing that there's potential for something like this, to me is so exciting. And I know, like as you said, like there's a lot of folks probably who just want to be able to do something like this, but just loathe having their kids in these systems. You know what I mean? I know folks who have their kids going to schools and they're like, just don't believe this when the teacher says this. And like when they come home, it's like, what did you learn? No, that's wrong. Like it just seems so counterproductive. You know what I mean? And there's so many people who are caught in a bind where they can't actually teach their own kids. They don't have the skills to do it. They don't have, the resources. And so, I just think like, it's interesting the times that we're living in, Josh. My personal belief, I know a lot of people believe this, probably a lot of folks who are subscribed to this channel and yours as well, believe that we're in the latter days and we're approaching harder days ahead. And so it's like we either join the system or we buck against it. And so we need more folks, again, I can't stress this enough, to be willing to say, okay, well, what are the alternatives here? You know, like we
No.
need to take care of our families. We need to ensure that future progeny has a chance at having faith in Messiah in days ahead, because we know, like, the world is not getting more and more bright in terms of God's, you know, kingdom and faith in God.
Yeah.
It's going the other way.
Mhm.
So yeah, there's an urgency here, brother. And so I love your logo there, a weapon of mass instruction. We need these weapons of mass instruction to destroy the destructive ways of the evil one and those who've aligned themselves with him, right? And so that we know these educational systems is like the perfect place to be doing this, right?
Yeah.
Just subtly planting things into the young mind, subtly just you know, reorienting them towards something that's completely bunk, completely false and a lie. And Satan's won over a generation of folks just through that means, you know. So he has so many ways to do it. And yeah, I just again, I commend you for your bravery for doing this. And I know it's probably quite a challenge and a stressor in your life, you know, going from that job that you have, right, where you have the steady income, the steady schedule. It's easy, right?
Yeah.
But we know that we're not called to do what's easy in this life, especially as believers in Messiah. We're to walk the ancient paths, and we're to walk against the grain, so to speak. And so, yeah, man, I just I can't say enough good things about the fact that the Father's put this on your heart. A, but B, you're responding to the call and you're saying, okay, I'll trust you.
Yeah,
I'll trust you. You lead me.
That was a tough one. That talk about faith being put to the test. I was telling you earlier, I was terrified. I would have so much peace about the decision, like I'm going to do it. I'm not going to sign my contract, because I was offered a contract, which is a big deal in education, because they're making cuts. The economy's doing bad, and everybody's all scared about what's going to happen. And so in education, when the economy goes down, they just start making cuts, and they already cut like 13 teachers. And I was blessed that I wasn't one of them. And I'm like, man, I'm blessed to not be that one. But at the same time, I'm about to turn down a contract that someone else could have had, you know, on my behalf. And I think it's because I'm a wrestling coach, and there's a little bit of a demand there. And so finding someone that's willing to do that is tough. And I'm like, you know, I still have to do what I have to do. I love my administrators. They're awesome. They're humble people. I love my school. I love my students. They're precious. And thinking about not going back into that building and seeing them next year, and their faces when they're like, you know, coming up to me, Mr. Keefe, you know, and all smiles, like I'm missing out on that. So that's kind of heartbreaking and tough too. But at the same time, what joy I have and peace going the other direction, because I was terrified, and the Father was like, here's great peace. Every time I think about it, I have peace. But when I would start to go, okay, I'm not going to sign the contract, it's like fear is coming in. It's like, you can't do this. This is too big of a task. You can't have 4 classes. You can't, you know, it's just like, and I was talking to my mother-in-law about it, and she goes, do you really think that's from the Most High saying you can't do this? And I'm like, you're right. It's definitely not him telling me you can't do it. And because there's no limits to what he can do, you know, with his Holy Spirit, you know. So I got peace about it that night, and I was like, all right, here we go. I'm going to do Creation Standard full time. And it's been quite the journey ever since. I've been doing nothing but planning, and I'm not a planner, but I'm planning on working all summer.
You're learning that skill.
Yeah, I'm learning how to do that and plan, and I'm going to have everything ready in like 80 something days. I forget the countdown.
Yeah, I think was it 87 days? What is it? 87
days. On the home page, you can scroll down and you can see 87 days, 4 hours, and 24 minutes.
There we go.
So
you have, Josh, what it's saying in my language is you have 87 days and 2 hours to get prepared, buddy. To slack off, and then you have 1 hour to hurry up and prepare, right? And that's unfortunately my
I'm a procrastinator. My mom taught me the word procrastination when I was really little, because we were good at it. She's like, you guys are professional procrastinators. I'm like, what's that? I did not realize I really was, and it stuck with me throughout school and everything. Like,
me too. My classmates always were angry at me because I would not goof off, but I just literally like the night before there'd be huge essays or whatever, and I would just stay up all night doing it and then hand it in and get a really good grade. And so there's like they hated me for that, but that's just how I work. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't do things over a long period of time. Like it's just
Yeah.
I gotta feel that pressure
Mm-hmm.
of okay, now I really have to get going, and then I just go all out, right?
Yeah, it's motivational. My brother and I, we were in a research methods class together in college, and it's a class where you do the research. You don't even go to class but like twice. And all year you're doing research.
Yeah.
We stayed up 3 days in a row getting all this stuff done and turned it in. Our papers were still hot when you got them off the printer, you know, like they were still hot. I was like trying to like fan them as we walked into the class.
That's hilarious.
And we had to like present to the class. I was like, let's just wing it. And we did. We winged it. And it was miraculous that the professor was like, good job. I was like, oh, I'm glad he didn't feel the papers and see they were still hot from the printer.
Yeah. So Josh, you were charged, was it $30? Is it a month?
Yeah, $1 a day, $30 a month for a class. And if you get in a second class, like let's say you have a student in Earth's Foundation and the Firmamental breakdown class, like you have them in 2 classes, it's not 30 and 30. So they wouldn't be paying 60. It's stair step. So it's 30, 20, 10. And so if you have 3 classes, you're not paying any more than 60 per month per family. Awesome. Okay. So like if you have 3 children in Earth's Foundation, you're only paying for the class one time. So you're not paying per child. I'm not going to ever, it's never going to be more than $60 a month, no matter if you have 10 children or 20 children taking classes full time, still just going to be $60 a month. So max, it's going to max out at that. So you can't do more than that. If you're paying more than that, you've messed up. So $1 a day should be good. And again, if we get funding, I'll make it free. If it's like, hey, somebody just donated enough to where we can do it free for 10 months, but also we're wanting to factor in things that we're going to do traveling. I'm hoping to be able to go around and travel and meet at some places and have some events, and also pay guest speakers, some big time guest speakers. I know a lot of them don't want money. People like Ken, if they came on, wouldn't want money. You have to like sneak it in some way. But there's
well, you said big time out there. Didn't you?
Yeah. So I'm hoping we've already had a big donation that we're set now for several months. And that is a major blessing. The person who did that, you know who you are, made us all tear up and cry, and just to take that stress off, because it is terrifying looking at the numbers and knowing how much we have. And my wife's a stay-at-home mom. She takes care of the children. She homeschools our daughter. And we also have a baby, as you saw in the picture. And so quite the family size. And I guess everybody knows how it is nowadays, living on one income and stepping away.
That's awesome, brother. Misk none ya business. Misk none ya biz. so excited for our son to take a course this fall. Awesome.
Heck yeah. I'm excited. You have no idea. I keep thinking about how awesome this is going to be to actually start every day with like prayer or whatever, testimonies, and being with other believers. And like, this is something I get emotional about. I get excited about thinking about it. It's such a change. It's something that I've wanted to do for over a year now, or for a long time, but finally seeing it come to fruition it's emotional.
That's great, brother. Guys, if you have any questions for Josh, please just put them in all capitalization if you can. I did spot Suzanne Jean Wilkins asking if the classes will be live or pre-recorded.
That's a big question. I'm going to try and do several live sessions each day. Not every day of the week. It's not going to be 5 days a week sitting in front of the computer. My current vision is Monday is going to be the earth science classes, and Tuesday is going to be the live sessions for the life science classes. And those will be recorded. So I will record those. I will also try to have pre-recorded videos too that are better versions of that. So you're not listening to all the classroom chatter and things, all the questions, unless you want to. But I have like a pre-recorded higher quality presentation of what we're going over as a video to upload to our online classrooms, so that people that miss it or on the different, like we have people in Australia or South Africa or wherever you're at, you can access this stuff. And again, I'm going to try to accommodate the time zones and do one, like 10 a.m. Eastern time, and then do another live maybe at like 7 p.m. Eastern, so that it gets people in all these different areas. Because I know we have 3 different time zones here where I'm at. So we have I mean, it's amazing how many, once it starts becoming like a worldwide thing, it gets complicated. Yeah. And so we're definitely going to have recordings, weekly recordings. And then that's just for the Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday will be something that will be like a lesson. And then Friday would be a fun review activity, online games where the kids are able to compete with each other, interact, things that are just fun for me. Like when we do our games at school, I love jumping in there, playing the games with the students, trash talking, beating them. No, it's bad. The first time I played a game in my class, one of the online review games, we had 15, or let's see, I had 13 students, and I think I finished 13th or something like that. Yeah, it's pretty bad. So 14 when you had me, I was one away from the end, and I think the person that I beat had just like gave up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Hawaii. Yeah, I forgot about Hawaii. Yeah, my brother he was in Hawaii for a while, and it's like 6 or 7 hours different. And it was weird when my son's coming up. He's like going to bed. I'm like, it's 1 a.m. over there, and I'm like, dude, my son's coming up. I gotta go to bed.
Yeah, that's kind of the rough thing, even just with live streaming. Just we have such an eclectic group of folks who join in here at Hang on His Words, and it's hard to even I know this is not an ideal time to live stream what I'm doing now, but I'm trying to accommodate for people who are like 3-4 hours behind. The majority of my audience is probably about 3 hours behind.
Yep.
So it's like I can't live stream at 10 my time because I'll just be a zombie. But you know what I'm looking forward to, Josh, is KST time. Kingdom Standard Time, when we're all gathered into the kingdom.
I like that.
We're on the same page. That'll be a great day for sure.
All the misconceptions cleared up. Everything's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. Eternal Light saying $1 a day to keep Satan away.
That's a good slogan. I like it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. $1 a day, keep the enemy away. Yeah. Set these children free. Kind of feel like Moses taking these children out of Babylon, because they're such nice educators. They're so friendly. When you go into the education world, they're so friendly, but they're teaching these doctrines of demons without knowing it. And it's so easy to plant those seeds.
Yeah.
From a trusting, loving, happy person they're going to cater to every need. Like, these are good people. Like, if somebody's hungry or somebody's had a bad, traumatic experience, like, these teachers are so nice. They don't realize most of the time that they're doing what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's unfortunate, man. We got Beetlejuice here, Josh, asking, I missed part of the broadcast. My son will be a senior next year. Do you have anything for that age? If so, will it fulfill science credits or elective?
It's not official credits yet. We're not accredited. You have to have a year of a program to get accredited. But the courses, the Firmamental Foundations course is a high school. I'm gearing it towards high school and beyond. And so it could be as advanced as you want it to be. And I'm hoping to learn stuff with this course, because I'm going over all the experiments that I've seen and that we've done over the last 7-8 years. And so going to lay it out in a way that's never been done before, because with high school, it's usually environmental science, save the world, stop global warming, that type of thing. And you have biology, physical science, and what's the other one we have? Chemistry. And so high school doesn't usually have a really good earth science. And I think the reason why is because they know students will start asking questions at that age about gravity, about everything. So yeah, the Firmamental Foundations course on the website would be the one that you want to register for him. So for a senior or anybody in high school, I recommend that one. Earth Foundation is going to be, more middle grades and below. So like, I would say 2nd grade to like 8th grade range. It's a big range, and I'm going to try to group accordingly. I would hate to put like a grown adult in there with like a 2nd grader. It'd just be awkward. And so I'll try to group accordingly and accommodate as many people as possible, because you never know. This may be the only year I'm able to do this. I don't know. And I want to reach as many people, kind of like with our social media platforms, putting stuff out there to reach as many people as possible. With any method possible. Back in the day, I would just go in the comments and send links to all these videos and truth things to people for hours and hours. And I still do that quite often. It's one of those type of deals. We're just trying to put it out there and reach as many as we can, and hopefully change some lives forever. The outcome, I believe, is eternal. If it brings one child closer to the Most High, it's worth it. But I have a feeling it's going to bring a lot more people and children, even young adults, closer to the Most High, keeping us all humble, focusing on that. Like there's so many things I want to focus on with this. And I can see it being a great blessing, and I feel peace about it. So I'm hoping that will be
Amen, brother. So
result.
Josh, you and I are not prognosticators. However, do you think if this experience goes well for you, that you would want to continue to do it, like kind of on an indefinite basis? Like what are your like future vision and goals with this whole thing? I mean, I don't know if you necessarily brought up accreditation in the sense of like, are you aiming for eventual accreditation? You said it takes about a year, or like
from what I've looked at, it takes about a year, and I'm new. That's all foreign to me. I would like to have it to where people could get like course credits or things like that. And I want the work that these students do to be seen, to be shared, to help wake up other people who are still in the public school setting, who aren't seeing that real science is taking place. We put it out there all the time in our community, and it just gets shunned. And I think with the youth and the way social media works, there's a better chance of them reaching more people. And people are more open. The youth are more open. There's still a little bit of a kickback when flat earth gets brought up in school. My students still talk about it, and I have a few that are biblical earth believers because of their parents, and they battle it out, and they are so surprised when I don't come to the rescue of the globe. They're always expecting, they said, "You're the science teacher. Why are you not defending science?" And I'm like, I am defending science. I'm defending provable things, and the Bible's always going to be true. And they're just like, wow, I would have never suspected that, because in life science, I try not to, get fired talking about these things, but the kids want to talk about it. I'll let them talk about it, and I'll join in, and I'll add some information. And they kind of just open their eyes. They're very smart at that age, even though they're, the kids I teach now are 13, 14 range. They're smart enough to go, that's impossible. Like you talk about, you have to just give them real world examples, and then they'll run with it. So they're
it must be a well-balanced act on your behalf to kind of, I mean, you have a curriculum and a stand, like what you have to teach, right? But like but yet you kind of shore that up with, well, and then there's this alternative, right? So you're not necessarily shoving anything down their throats, but you're saying, this is what I'm told to teach you, without saying it like that. But this is what God's word says, and I love it, brother. I absolutely love it.
I got observed this year teaching evolution, which scared me. It's the most scared I've been during an observation because my evolution presentation is the same one I do on YouTube or anytime I'm talking about evolution. It's not, here's what the standards say. It's like, I go over all the faulty evidence, and it's like we go over the proofs of the Red Sea crossing. We look at biblical artifacts and proofs and show how that's provable. And it's like all that was in my notes when he walked in, and I was getting close to looking at the Red Sea proof, and I'm like, he walks right in. Here comes my administrator, clipboard and all. I'm like, oh no. Like, quick, what do I do? And I'm like,
join the class.
Just do what I do, And it's like, and I skipped past those two slides, and then I went on and like kind of winged it a little bit. But I was nervous. I was like, I think he might call me to the office again, but because he had just talked to me like 2 weeks earlier about like, we found out you have a book, and and this book is what it's about, and you just got to make sure you're not biased in the classroom. And I'm like, I teach life science. How can I be biased? My book was about the globe, Yeah. And so.
Yeah, that's funny, man. When I was still employed by the healthcare system here in Nova Scotia, Canada, during the height of the pandemic, or not even the height, like early on in the pandemic, when they first started rolling out the Vs, I drew like blood. That was part of my role as a medical laboratory assistant. And so I would draw blood from patients who came in with appointments, and I often got asked my opinion regarding the V.
Yes.
And whether or not I would take it, or you know what I mean? And so I was just plain honest, like, no, I would never, and I'll give you the reasons why. And eventually my lab manager caught wind that I was having these conversations with these patients, and he,
wow,
couldn't do anything technically about it, because we on paper have freedom of expression here in Canada still, kind of, even though that's being completely gnawed away like hardcore. But basically it was just like, don't be saying that to these patients. Like, they're, as you would imagine, they're hardcore advocates for the little medicine. And I was like, I don't care. If they're gonna ask me, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna tell them the truth on what I feel about it. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Right. So it was like, I don't know. It's little things like that. I mean, that's not comparable to your experiences in the education system and having to deal with these people. This is a smaller, more minute example, but we need to be doing that if we're going to participate in these systems. we gotta spread the word while we can. We gotta tell people the truth and get them to think. And if there's consequences to it, there is. But at the end of the day, we know, we're going with our conscience, and we're going with the truth, and the truth sets us free and sets others free. And so that's what we're all about, right, Josh?
Yeah. And as you're talking about this, I was thinking about something you were saying earlier about times getting worse. We know biblically, we feel like we know where we're at biblically in time, and given the way we feel like things are close, it's going to get worse. And there's so many skills we don't have as people. Like, I was listening to Candace Owen. She was talking about homeschool yesterday, and she said there was such a stigma. She said, but I didn't learn how to grow food out of the ground until I was in my 30s. They don't teach that in school.
No.
It's just like, I don't worry about that. And we're at a time where we all need to learn that food is free. When you put it in the ground, you don't have to pay any taxes. The world doesn't charge you. You just put it in the ground, you eat it. Like, it grows. Like, it's miraculous. It grows on trees. It grows the way the Father.
The land that you planted into is taxed, but
that's true. Yeah, there's that. Yeah. Everything's overtaxed. I forget how much percent. Like, if you add up all the taxes, it's over 50%. And like in America, like, it comes out of your pay, and the food and the land, all that's like, it's a ridiculous amount of tax. And so, but yeah, it's free food, the free food project. We need to start that in the class too, where everybody just starts growing their own food or collecting their seeds. If you have a non-GMO organic food and you're eating it, keep the seeds. Why throw away something that could grow and feed you? It's awesome, because we didn't even know, and I'm learning about this now in life sciences. It was puzzling scientists, like, what the plants eat. Like, if they were eating dirt, they would just be in these big divots. Like, the ground would just drop wherever they're at. They would sink down eating the dirt. It would just be one of those things. You'd be like, they got to be eating dirt, because all the dirt's just dipping down. And they'd be like, it'd be interesting, but they're not eating dirt. So, like, what are they eating? And they did experiment. They're like, we cannot figure this out. Like, they're putting on all this mass, and like, this guy put a tree in a wheelbarrow, and he weighed the dirt, and he weighed the tree without dirt on it, and then let it sit for like 6 years, which is a long experiment. And then he takes it out and he weighs it again, and the tree's put on like 200 pounds, but the dirt weighs exactly the same. And he's like, what's going on? Like, it didn't eat the dirt. Like, what is this thing eating? And so they were puzzled. They were doing experiment after experiment trying to figure this out. And they're like, well, we guess it's eating sunlight and water, like, what else? And it's carbon dioxide, like, there's like all these things they're trying to figure out what goes into plants. And I remember as a kid thinking that, like, how does dirt turn into wood? And like, how does that create this orange, that I'm eating? That oranges are pre-sliced. You open it up, it's pre-sliced. Like, how can you not believe in a creator? Like, he didn't just make us a fruit. It's in little bitty even slices, like it's packaged. Like, the intelligent design is mind-boggling. And I think it's fun looking at that aspect with the children when they see it that way. Like, this is extremely intelligently designed, instead of here's the chemical equation for photosynthesis, guys. Remember this, it's going to be on our test. Like, they just lose interest. But when it's about intelligent design and they can see it, they're fascinated. Even with evolution, like, my evolution scores is what got me almost got me in trouble. 2 years ago, when I was at my other school doing biology, my evolution scores were beyond like what they should have been compared to everybody else. It was like way high. And again, I was passionate about the unit. I was showing videos about intelligent design. I was doing all the things I do now. My kids were coming alive. They were excited, but they knew what answers to pick. They knew common ancestor, because we had common test. I couldn't make my own test. I'm like, like, I'm giving you a test, and if you see the word common ancestor, it's probably the answer they want you to pick. Because I went through and I highlighted every one that was common ancestor out of like 45 questions, like 15 common ancestor. Like, I'm like, do you guys realize you're brainwashing kids? Like, that's not normal to have one answer for so many questions. But with that unit, that they know that'll help them pass the end of course test, because it's always common ancestor on those too. But yeah, I accidentally had too high of scores, and they asked me what I did in a meeting, like the department meeting, like, what did you do to get the scores that high? And I'm like, I hadn't even seen my scores. Like, I didn't care. Like, I wasn't like, oh, I hope I did better than everybody. Like, they all cared about their scores, and I just wanted my kids to learn and be excited. And so I hadn't even looked at them yet. So when they were like, yeah, you did way better than everybody, I was like, that's good, kind of. But now you're asking me what I did. I was like, I just said, well, we really looked hard at the evidence. And they were like, how? And I was like, we just looked harder at it. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
We studied it more closely. Like, I can't tell you that we like looked at it as fraud, because they get all bent out of shape. And
you didn't just circle C every time?
I told them to do that. I was like, I showed them how to Christmas tree better. Yeah.
Jeff Porter says, my grandmother told me that people ate dirt during the Great Depression for nutrition.
I could imagine. They were making salads out of like
grass and stuff. My oma
I've been wondering, like that. We need to know what we can eat, because I watched an old lady who was alive in the Depression. She's like, here's how we made a salad. And she took all the leaves and things, and they made little salads out of the stuff in the yard, which is genius. I don't think anybody around here would hardly know how to do that.
Donna makes great pesto from weeds, dead nettle.
Huh. Okay. I got to figure all this stuff out. This has got to be in part of the curriculum for our life science classes, for sure. Because I want to learn. I want to know what I can eat, what's good, what's bad. Because the Father designed all these herbs for us, these plants to heal.
Is dead nettle the same as stinging nettle?
I don't know.
My oma also grew stinging nettle. When I was a kid, we'd go over there, and my sister and I would like break off little branches of it and start whipping each other with it. It stung, dude.
Yeah.
It has that name for a reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, this is awesome. I'm so excited for you, brother. Is there anything else that we can pull up for the website, or anything else you'd like to cover? Or
if anybody had any questions, the big thing with the website is just registration's free. creationstandard.com. Go on, register if you're really interested. Don't get my hopes up and then back out on me, because I'm with the people that are registered. I'm going to start soon, midsummer, grouping into different categories and putting people together. There'll be times where we come together as an entire class, maybe for like orientation. I think the first day is going to be like an orientation, what to expect, maybe just a little activity, but I want to get to know the children. I want to know who we're reaching. I don't want it to be about everything that I know and me just pouring out knowledge. I want it to be a learning experience. Mm-hmm. And I also do want it to have some activities that give the parents a break if it's a homeschool situation, to where the parents can go, okay, I know they're doing something that's an activity, it's science related, and it's interactive, and I can do my own thing around the house, take care of maybe the other children you have, and just not worry that they're going to be indoctrinated. I want it to be just a pleasant experience for parents as well, like a certain, couple days a week where there's an activity for them to do, even if it's not hands-on. It's something where they're learning, playing games, interacting with other peers, people their age. I know my daughter loves interacting with other children. She's a social butterfly, and she's homeschooled. And man, when she goes to her little co-ops, she just comes alive. She loves those things. And so I'm hoping this will be like that for people to come together. And somebody sent a little message, somebody from Australia, they said their daughter, and I teared up at work. She said her daughter, they've been in the truth community for 10 years, and her daughter, you feel like you have nobody to talk to. And she's like, finally, I can talk to people my age that are like me. And so that's going to be a blessing for your children. If they felt like the oddball because they're biblical earth believers or whatever, and it'll be great for them to come together and talk to other people in the truth community that are their age, that believe like they do. It'll be like the meetups we have here where we all come together, and even though we've never seen each other, it's like a powerful family reunion where it's like, oh my gosh, I believe like you, and we're all crazy. We all just shake hands, and it just flies by. And so, that reminds me, we are having a meetup on the 27th of this month. So soon, like really soon. I forget that this month is somehow in part of that time warp where time just flies real fast. But the 27th in Appleton, Tennessee. We live in Northwest Georgia, so it's kind of close to that area, but we have had to branch out and go to Tennessee because the meetup places here aren't available. They're voting precincts, and of course, with all the real elections coming up, they close those things down. I don't want to diss those. Those are so real.
Trump.
No,
yeah. It's crazy, guys.
Yeah.
Sanctified Supply Co. is asking for what ages.
What
They
ages?
must have joined a little late there, but if you wouldn't
Yeah.
mind just running
No,
that
you're
by them
good.
again.
Thanks for asking. Any age from about, I'd say you probably don't want to go lower than second grade for Earth Foundation. Just maybe for some of it, you can modify it to use it for your child. My daughter's joining, and she's in second grade, but it's based loosely on the sixth grade Earth Science standards. And I've tried to take their standards and make them biblical Earth Science standards using a similar wording. But the more I've modified it, the more I've made it different. At first, I thought we need to keep it somewhat similar so we're not just like ostracized and saying we're science deniers, but we're putting their science to the test. But that's our Earth Foundation. And then we have a high school and beyond version. And so we have people that are in their 50s and 60s in that class right now, but we also have a lot of teenagers, high schoolers, ages 14 through 20 is probably the biggest group in that class, Firmamental Foundations class. And so you can click on our website on the classes and find the course information. And so anywhere between second grade, I would say, and beyond. When you get smaller than that, it's kind of hard to take in all the stuff we're going to be covering.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's going to be
Speaking
modified.
of firmamental, Josh, we got the firmamentalist in the house.
Heck yeah, we got Sean.
Have you considered receiving channels joins to supplement as a fundraiser? What does that mean to you? Do you understand?
I don't even know what that means. Sean's the guru with all this.
This must be a Lighthouse reference.
Yeah,
yeah,
Lighthouse. I need to get
all set up on that, are you?
No, I need to get on the board with that. I've been so busy with all this, I haven't looked away for a minute.
Hook up with him after the show.
I'm gonna have to get Sean to help me out. He's the guy.
Yeah,
he's the guy with all this stuff. I don't know how he does what he does. I'm doing something that's small compared to all the stuff he's been doing, and I'm terrified. So I'm like, he's bouncing all this stuff all the time, and I'm just doing this one little job.
This sounds like it'll probably help you out, man.
Yeah.
I mean, if Lighthouse becomes what we're hoping it's going to become, this will help you get the word out.
Yeah, we need Lighthouse. My goodness, like just kind of like we need creation standard type of thing. We need this for the truth community as well.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of good things. This is what I mean. Like we got to support these brothers who have these endeavors placed on their hearts by the Father to help us out, because it's going to only benefit us in the long run. So guys, if you're not someone who wants to sit in the courses over at Creation Standard, you can still bless the brother financially. Yeah. Do you have that on your website there? Just like a general donate or?
Yeah, you can go on the top of the page and on the bottom, there's a donate option. You can click on it. It'll show you how to donate. You can make it a monthly thing or just a one-time donation. If you want to write us a check, we're in the process of getting a business account, so you don't have to write it to me. You can actually soon, not yet, write it to Creation Standard. And so I'm trying to get that all figured out. I'm not a business guy. I've been in education for 16 years. This is brand new to me, the business side of things. And so it's good to have support so we can just focus on the education side of it and not have any stress and just flow into it. And right now it's looking like that's going to be the case for us early on. We just got to keep the support rolling in so that it can eventually not just provide free classes for some people, hopefully be for everybody, and be something that continues on, like you said, full time. Like I would like to be doing this forever, like this be my job forever, and grow into something bigger and bigger, kind of snowball and get bigger and better as we go. It's just going to be a group family effort. I could say I misspoke there, but yeah, family effort where we have people in the truth community coming together. I'm going to be reaching out to people, something I'm not good at, and having guest speakers and being part of experiments and experiences that go way out beyond me showing somebody something in front of a camera. Like this is going to be something hopefully quite large.
Yeah, willing. I agree, brother. Sanctified saying Sean inspires me in so many ways. Praise God. Everyone needs a Sean. Sean's awesome, guys. I agree. Yeah. He's a phenom. I've been blessed to be a buddy of his for several years now, and it's the things he's doing for this community. It's incredible. So again, like yourself as well, Josh. So we need more folks stepping up and doing what the Father has skilled them to do. And yeah,
that's why I'm blessed to see you spending more time with ministry and seeing your wife on, man. That inspires me. I've always wanted to have my wife on, but at the same time, like I can handle criticism, but if somebody's been mean to her, like that, just like I would hate for her to see that. So I would love to have her on. Her wisdom and the things she says, like she's my go-to. If I have a question, I ask her. If she doesn't know, then I feel like good, I stumped her. I'm doing good. I must be on to something here if she doesn't know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's good to have the wives in their input. Man, they bring a lot.
Yeah, for sure, brother. My wife has thick skin and a soft heart, so she's good with that regard, and we're definitely going to have her on more. She won't be necessarily a staple here, hanging on his words, but there'll be like these intermittent videos with her on it for sure. But Josh, you inspire Incarnate Unlimited.
I met this guy.
So you're inspiring folks, Josh.
Yeah, I got to meet him in person at our meetup in Harrison, Tennessee. We had a camp out after we had our hangout. It was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. That's sweet. Jeff Porter says, "May God bless all your ministries."
Amen.
Yes, he has been. He has been. So, Miss Marcia again with these memberships. I'm telling you, this seems to be her skill from what I've seen.
That is
these
awesome.
gifted memberships. She's great at doing that. And
I didn't even know you could do that until I saw her do it, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah, thank you so much, sister. Really do appreciate it, guys. If you have any other questions, please, all caps. If not, we're just going to keep this one a short one, around an hour.
Yep.
Just basically, talk about this creation standard. And I think, Josh, you covered quite a bit. I think it's there's no ambiguity. We know what it is. We know how to support you. We know who it's for. And so I think folks just need to go over to the website. If there's any other lingering questions, just peruse the website there. Reach out to Josh. Josh, do you have an email that people can reach? I assume that's on the contact us tab
contact there. Up there, but it's thecreationstandard@gmail.com. So the Creation Standard, just like you see on the logo over there, that's the wrong corner.
Yeah.
And so thecreationstandard@gmail.com, but the website is just creationstandard.com. And so that will bring you to most of the information you need. And feel free to email us. I check the email probably every 20 minutes or so. I'm always clicking on there to see if there's any questions. And it's usually the same questions, age groups, times of class, and all of that. So things are subject to change. I've got a rough layout of how I want to do it, but if the Father says do it this way, we're going to listen, and hopefully we're going to listen. That's my prayer, is that I'll listen to what He's telling me to do.
Yeah, it can be hard when there's so much noise and static in our ears, but we must listen. Deborah is saying, "Yaz will be done." Josh, you are truly blessed.
Heck yeah, signing his granddaughter's up. Awesome. Incarnate Unlimited. Hopefully he can make the next meetup we have on the 27th of this month.
Cool. That's so cool.
Oh yeah, the granddaughters I got to meet, they're going to be there.
Awesome. I'm slightly jealous. You folks in the States, obviously, if you go to the Kingdom in Context app and just go to the Fellowship Finder, or even the 119 Ministries app, whatever app, the ones that have the Fellowship Finders on them, you guys in the States, man, like, it's just, you're everywhere. In Canada, we're still lagging quite a bit behind. They're there, but they're sparse. They're few and far between. So
you're doing a good job, though. You're getting more people. I think the fact that you're there and people can relate to you that are there. It's like I've seen a bunch say from Canada over here. Like there.
Yeah,
it's growing.
It is, and it's going to continue. It's going to continue. Deuteronomy 30 coming into fruition. That prophecy. More and more people are waking up to the truth of God's word and walking in covenant with Him, and so it's awesome. We live in amazing times, Josh. I'm blessed to be a contemporary with you, my friend. Like, this is it's great. I can't wait to dwell in the kingdom with you and Sean and everyone else, people in the chat, just people who've hung around for all these years, and just eventually we'll get to just see each other in the kingdom one day as immortals and say, we put our best foot forward when we were mortals. Here we are in immortality because the Messiah has deemed us worthy of it. So it'll be quite something.
And how blessed are we too? When I was going through, we've been reading Jubilees, and it talks early on about us being the Father's inheritance. And man, it just hit me. Like, we're doing our study. It was like the very beginning of our Jubilee studies several months ago, and it talked about us being His inheritance. And I'm like, us, like we've looked forward our whole lives to these streets of gold and all these different things, and it's like He's looking forward to us. He's looking forward to His children being His inheritance. And I only saw one person in the Bible talk about the Most High being their inheritance, and it was David. And it calls him a man after God's own heart. Like, this guy looked forward to the Father being his inheritance, and I feel like that's how we're supposed to live. And man, it does something to you when you think of it that way. Like, I can't wait to see him and like you were saying, our family, we're joining up soon, and it's going to be so cool seeing everybody all together, like on Kingdom Standard Time, like you said. But yeah, our Father being our inheritance, that's something, and us being his inheritance is humbling.
It truly is. It truly is. It's amazing. Just the idea of, the fact that we're going to meet Yahweh one day face to face, literally. And this is why, like, we need folks talking about, Sean is great at having discussions regarding the Trinity and how it's erroneous, not scriptural. And harping on the idea of Yahweh actually having a corporeal nature, right? The fact that we're actually going to see Yahweh in the kingdom. This is stuff that's on our hearts to get out to the masses, that there is a creator who loves you, who yearns to dwell with you one day, and he wants to get you to a point where we can actually do that. And so it's terrible when we have these doctrines like Trinitarianism and all the different sects of Trinitarianism that essentially break down and don't actually believe that we're going to see Yahweh the Father at all in the kingdom to come. And I'm just like, come on, guys, that's not what the scriptures say. It's not what Yeshua proclaimed. It's not what the prophets say at all. And so we need to reorient people, Christians especially, back onto the, like, guys, come on, like, let's get the message right here, especially now as things are getting harder and darker. Like, we really need to understand the true light to come and all that's contained within that message. So I love it, brother. And I know I'm just loving on you. I got it though. So I appreciate you and folks like you who have ministries and who are willing to, even whether you have a ministry or not, folks in the chat, folks in the comments, people who just come by and watch the videos. Like, if you're just out there having conversations with folks, I love you. I love it. We need to be a good plague. We need to spread like a good virus.
I love seeing all the true soldiers out there. People in the chat, like, somehow I'm following them on Facebook too now, and I see all the things they share. They're not just here commenting; they're out sharing things. They're like
soldiers,
you wouldn't believe. And that's part of your ministry, is sharing these things, planting seeds. And some of the things they've shared has helped steer me a different direction towards truth. And they don't have to be out there broadcasting and going live to be influencing people like me.
Yeah, thanks, brother Matt. Getting his law in our hearts and minds and never sinning again. I can't wait. I mean, that's people Josh, they just don't know the good message of the kingdom of God and what's all entailed in that. You know what I mean? Like, can you imagine one day not having to worry about sinning against the Creator ever again?
Yeah, that would be so awesome. That new covenant.
Yeah. Well, guys, if there's no other questions pertaining to the creation standard, I think we'll let Brother Josh go cool off. I know you probably put quite the sweat on there up in your attic, Josh.
The air's starting to work. We got the air on. It's just slow. It gets hot up here. Yeah. I'm glad we turned this attic into an office, but if I leave it off all day, it's hot.
Yeah.
But it's still a blessing.
Brothers, anything else you want to speak on before we part ways?
Yeah, just thanks so much, man. I'm glad you've done this. You're the first one to step up to being able or willing to help get the word out so that we can get the word out. So that'll be
no worries, brother. As soon as I saw your upload to your channel and watched it, I was like, oh, this is awesome. Like, yeah, we got to have him on. I'd love for other channels. Hopefully, I'm sure others will follow suit and have you on, because we need to spread it. It's got to go. The algorithm's got to take this thing and just get some reach. So hopefully this does. And brother, either way, I love you. I bless you. I'm praying. We will be praying here at the Heidebrecht household with regards to creation standard and everything that the Father has placed on your heart, to where that has to go and what that's to look like. The finances will be met. Your timetable and all the preparation that is involved in it over the next few months just goes smoothly. Josh, we're rooting for you, brother. Thanks, love you. Brother. And again, guys, reach out to Josh if you even just want to offer him prayers, offer him encouragement, any of that stuff. I'm sure Josh will gladly accept it. Obviously the financial, the finances need to be there too for him to really make this thrive. And to bring the blood pressure down a little bit so that he knows that at least the basic needs are met, the bills are paid type thing. So it's a huge step in faith here that he's doing. And so we got to back this brother. And yeah, Josh, I love you, man.
Yeah, love you too, brother. Thanks so much. And it's an honor.
All right. Guys, thank you again for joining me this evening. It was a simple one. Brother Josh is awesome. Again, if you want to reach out to him, go to thecreationstandard.com, his website that we just brought up on screen. Look through it. You can contact him through that. Go subscribe to his YouTube channel, Founded Earth Brothers, if you aren't already subscribed to him. He does amazing work there. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up and share it with your friends, family on your socials. Keep an eye out for Lighthouse. I'm hearing it's coming soon, very soon. So that's exciting. Eventually I'll be live streaming off of that platform as well. So good stuff, good news, good exciting times ahead. So I hope everyone's doing well. Obviously not everyone is doing well, literally. I'm assuming people are dealing with probably a lot of things that are hard on them. So I just pray that the Father blesses you and that you're encouraged through my ministry and other ministries to continue on with the faith. Keep running that race, guys. Keep your eyes on the prize, which is the kingdom of God to come. And keep the commandments. Keep following him. Walk in covenant. And all things will be good for you in your life. It's the best way to live. So try your best to do that. And we have Yeshua there as our high priest. When we screw up, go to him, lean on him, find your identity in him, and nothing but great will come from it, guys. I love you. Thank you so much for your love and support, guys. We'll see you on the next one. The next one is actually going to be, where are we at here? A live stream next Wednesday. So I'll be on doing just a Bible study. I'm on my couch, just casually with my Bible. And we're going to go over some scriptures, going to hang out and interact with you folks in the chat again. I love the fact that you guys take the time out of your lives to come and hang out with little old me. It's appreciated. It really is. And I hope you do join me next week. So keep an eye out for that. Click on the notifications, guys. If you're subscribed to this channel, I'm hearing quite often that people just weren't notified that I went live or uploaded a new video. So if you guys want to stay in touch in that regard and be notified, you got to click on the little bell there, make sure that that's clicked. So sometimes I'm hearing, whether or not this is true, YouTube likes to just sneakily go in there and unclick the notification bell for folks. So I don't know if it's true or not. I haven't had any experiences like that myself with certain channels that I'm subscribed to, but either way, it doesn't hurt to go and check to see that you are still notified. So please do that if you care to continue receiving correspondence from me. Love you guys, and we'll see you on the next one.